I'll never forget when I was in the club trying to mind my business and the tallest dude in the club wanted to approach me. And so I said, how tall are you? He said like 6'4", 6'5". And I said, oh no, you too tall for me. He said, too tall? I ain't never heard no girl say that to me before. And I said, yeah, you're too tall. I am 5'2". You are way too tall. He said, oh, well, we the same size in bed. Excuse me? Are you crazy? Mind you, it's not, the video's not even about that. It's about the fact that I'm 5'2". I don't even like being with dudes over 5'10". And you want to talk to me and you're 6'5"? Are you insane? I want to be comfortable when I'm with my partner. I want to be comfortable when I'm walking. I want to be comfortable in every type of position. Talk about in the bed. Okay, but what about when we standing up? What about when we walking and you trying to hold my hand and my hand is up here and your hand is down here? It's uncomfortable. I don't have time for that. I don't. And then I'm trying to hug you and then your shoulders is all the way up there. I am 5'2". I don't want to be with a 6 foot nothing. I don't want to be with a 6 foot anything.
Y'all ever peep the best looking guys are dead ass short? Like all the good looking, I'm talking about good looking, nice clear skin, probably got the locks, the braid down, clean cuts, dressed neat, like has a job intact, goes to the gym. They always are under 5'9".
Y'all be fucking up by sleeping on short kings. Listen. We all like somebody 6 feet and over. We do. But what I've noticed in my dating experience is the niggas that's 5'10" and under that got the most money, that actually have cars and cribs, and that have like a little bit of to them. These tall niggas think that their height carries them. No, it never did. Short niggas automatically feel like people put them in a box, especially women, like they don't want to date them because they're short. So the short niggas work harder. Get you a short king. Short kings all 2026. I never discriminated. I love a 5'6" nigga. I'm only 5'1" anyways.
Y'all, I have a PSA. This is something I've been wanting to get off my chest for a very long time, okay? Women love short kings, okay? I hate to be the one to break it to y'all, but beautiful women love their short kings. Name a short king that don't got a baddie. We love short kings. It's you itty bitty bitches that we do not like. We can't stand you itty bitty bitches. The ones that's always angry, the ones that's always comparing height. If I was taller, I could have did this. What bitch doing? You know, we don't like y'all. We don't like the ones like, oh, when you wear heels, you're taller than me. Ugh. Always walking around with a chip on their shoulder. We don't like them. We don't like those bitter, angry, short kings. The ones that know they're short and they don't give a fuck. They're confident. They're like, yeah, baby.
Hold on, y'all. We do have more to unpack and get into, but let's pause it right there, because what we are witnessing right now today is something that is being referred to as the Great Shift. And the Great Shift is pretty much women coming back down from the clouds and coming back down to reality and realizing that, hey, maybe we have been kind of ridiculous with our standards. Maybe we are blocking our blessings from being able to settle down, start our families, get married, and live happily ever after by excluding men under 6 feet. And so we're starting to see a lot of women come through like, yeah, I love me a short king. Short kings are in. I'm done trying to date men that are super uber tall. Like, that's unrealistic. And I'm short anyway. So it really is pointless. And all of this stemmed from the original clip that we played at the very beginning. At the very beginning, we showcased a young lady talking about her encounter when she was out with a taller gentleman that was trying to shoot a shot at her. And she pretty much turned him down like, nah, you're way too tall for me. I'm a little bitty cutie patootie. I don't need a man that's way up there when I'm way down here. No cigar. And since then, that whole little interaction went viral, and it gave a lot more women this new perception and this new idea that, hey, she's actually right. Why do I need somebody that is that tall? Why do I need somebody that is towering over me, all for him to qualify? Like, it makes no sense. What I actually need is a man that honors me, that loves me, that is attractive, okay? Because we're not going to act like the short kings don't be fine. Y'all be fine, okay? Shout out to my husband, actually, because he is a short king. However, I think that it is something that has always been unrealistic as far as saying, oh, any man under 6 foot tall is short, because the average height of a man is 5'9". You know? The average height of a woman is 5'3". So even setting this as the rule of thumb that every woman should strive for has always just been completely stupid. Okay, we're gonna be honest. But yeah, things are starting to turn around, and I love to take surveys over on the Nick Marie Dope discussion. So y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And riddle me this, okay? Answer this for me, you all. If you are a man that is under 6 foot tall, all right, which should be the bulk of you, are you realizing or noticing this new trend going around to where a lot more women are being very receptive to dating you all, to talking to you all, maybe even approaching you all? Is that something that is new, that is coming around to your doorsteps, or has it always been this thing? Okay, because I've also seen guys say, hey, short kings being able to land baddies and have women all over them, that's not something that is new. That's the norm.
The great shift. Let's talk about it. Because see, last summer when I made a video saying the biggest players I know are 5'7", 5'8". Everybody was saying I was coping. Everybody was saying, oh, you coping, this and that. Women love height. No shit, women love height. Okay, and people don't know what great shift is. It's going viral. There's a girl that said she actually likes short dudes, and there's a bunch of other women, a lot of women in the comment section agree with her saying, yeah, we actually prefer a dude that's shorter or our height or a little bit above our height, whatever. We find them very attractive, this and that, right? So it's been a big uprise and uproar, virality of people saying the great shift is here of short men. Listen, it ain't even really so much as a great shift. It's just that women are finally admitting that they like short dudes. They're not afraid anymore to say they like shorter men. They find short men attractive. Or average height, whatever, 5'7", 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", whatever it may be. Okay. But I made a video a while back saying, yeah, the biggest players I know personally, I myself am 5'9". I've never had issues with getting women. Okay. Have I been rejected? Sure. But most time I have not been. And I know a lot of players that really have had a lot of women, got 5 different baby mamas, 5 bad baby mamas, and they 5'6", 5'7".
As long as you're carrying yourself like this and you have the confidence like the other girl was talking about, yeah, it's no issue, right? You're not walking around with a chip on your shoulder. You're not insecure. You're not doubting yourself, and you're not thinking lowly of yourself. Yeah, you're going to get a woman. So that's never been a problem. And so if you feel like this is something that is new that is coming around as far as the short kings being in, I want you all to put apples in the comments. All right, put apples in the comments right now if it's like, nah, that's not true. This whole short kings are in type of conversation is something that is brand new. Maybe it's due largely in part to women realizing that they are blocking their blessings. They are struggling by Xing men out that could be great husbands, great fathers, all because he's under 6 foot tall. But this is fairly new. All right. Drop the apples if you believe that. And then I want you all to put the oranges in the chat if it's like, nah, short kings been getting them. All right. And maybe you are not a short king yourself, but maybe you have homeboys around you that are under 6 foot. And it's like, no, they definitely get women. Okay. Maybe you are a short king yourself and you're like, no, I've been getting chicks. That's not a big deal. That's normal. Put the oranges if you have that sentiment, or put bananas in the chat. Pause. All right. Pause. I don't mean it like that, y'all. Okay. But we just taking surveys. Put bananas in the chat if y'all feel like it's a combination of the two. Like, this is new, but it's also something that is fairly normal at the same time. Drop the bananas in the chat. Me personally, what do I believe? Do I believe this is a new trend? I will say, this is a tough one. I'll say, and this may be a hot take, but I will say that it is a banana type of ordeal. So I'm going to drop my banana in the chat. Pause. Because on one hand, I have heard countless different women talk about how, no, I need my man to be at least 6 foot tall. I need my man to be at least 6'3". Like, I've heard all of that. I don't date any man that's under 5'10", that's under 5'11". Like, I've heard that. And that has become the standard for what a man should meet as far as a requirement for a woman to talk to him, take him seriously, want to date him, want to procreate with him, so on and so forth. However, a lot of women be fronting and faking. Okay. They will swear up and down, oh no, I need a man that drive this type of car. I need a man that lives in this type of mansion. I need a man that has a humongous eggplant. I need a man. They be fronting and faking. They see and hear what other women are saying on social media, and because they want to fit in, they'll go ahead and tell these women those things so that they can feel like, yes, I'm an elite woman that only deals with these caliber of guys. Right? So it's, in a nutshell, a way for her to not only try to fit in with other women, but it's also this element of her wanting to prop herself up to make it seem like, oh, she only deals with the top of the line type of guys because she's a top of the line type of woman. That right there is the huge elephant in the room as far as why a lot of women will lie. And they'll say, I only deal with a man who makes this type of money, or who drives this type of car, or who is this height, or who looks like this. That is so other people can have the perception of, she must be an it girl. Because if she were not, she wouldn't even be able to land that type of guy in the first place. Okay, so women be lying, y'all. They have always dealt with the short kings. I mean, let's be clear, you all. How many guys out there are 6 foot and above? Not a lot. Yet we are seeing women constantly pregnant. Do you think all of these guys that are getting these women pregnant are 6 foot and above? I think not. I think not. So, I mean, please, let's stop the cap. All right. But although this is becoming a newly widespread type of mentality and standard and, way of life for a lot of women, there are some guys out there that are a little bit skeptical, okay? They feel like these women are fronting and faking. They feel like these women are just trying to use these short kings so that they can level up, because a lot of women out here are struggling. They're broke, and they have come to the rude reality check that, it's not enough of those 6 foot, 6-figure, 6-pack ab guys to go around. And so now here they are trying to be realistic because they are struggling. You do have those guys out there. And before I play these next clips, I would love for you all to sound off in the comment section right now and tell me, do you personally feel like this is just a way for women to get in good with the men? And this is a way for these women to get some help by saying, you know what, let me get rid of that standard. That way I can get me a man to take care of me, to love me, to settle down with me, and live happily ever after. If you agree with that sentiment, I want you all to put the king emojis in the chat right now, and that's going to signify the short kings. And y'all are like, yeah, these women are just desperate, and so now they're grasping at any and everything just to get a man. Y'all let me see. How do I feel about it? I'll tell y'all after the clips. Let's run it.
Not falling for this new propaganda of women preferring short men or liking short men now and don't mind dating them. No, go back to your tall men. Y'all been liking tall men all this time. They are looking at short men as a second option now, because it's the story going around, the viral story of the dude trying to talk to the girl in the club. He was like, I'm tall, why you won't be with me? But she was like, well, I don't like that. But I just think he was because he was arrogant. But when you 6'4", when you a tall man, and 99% of the world of women want tall men, you're going to be a little bit arrogant. And that's how most tall men are. Most men over 6 foot are like, yeah, I can get any woman I want, because every woman wants them. That's why women are coming to us now. Tall men are going to cheat. They're going to cheat. They got all them goddamn options. I'm not saying all tall men ain't shit, but a good 99.999% of tall men ain't shit. They can go get any woman they want. And now these women are like, oh yeah, what a short kings at? I've been like a short man. I don't want them tall dudes. No, they're looking at short men as a second option now. They don't like us. They trying to fuck us over. They trying to treat us like a duck. Oh, Mark, that's why women ain't gonna like you. That short man syndrome or whatever the fuck it is. No, I got common sense. I know false propaganda when I see it. I never seen on this earth. Well, women's like, yeah, I want a man that's about 5'7". A woman never started us. Man, get the fuck out of here. These women don't want no short king.
I'm about to break down why so many people are single, and how most people have unrealistic standards when it comes to dating, specifically women. But this just isn't my opinion. I'm going to back what I'm saying through data. All right, so there's this site called Keeper AI. And I hate to give businesses free publicity, But I do think people need to see things like this just so they can come to reality. So on this site, they have something called the standards calculator. So what you can do is you can put in your dating standards, as you can see, and they will calculate it to let you know how many people there are that match your standards. As you can see, they ask gender, to see if they want kids or not, the age, height, minimum income, ethnicity, hair color. They go to education, religion, eye color, see if they smoke, drink, if they married or not, if they obese, all the important things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask many women today, right, what's their standards when it comes to dating? Many women today, as we know, if you on social media, you always hear people say these things. They say 6 feet and 6 figures. So I put this on the site. I put age 25 to 50 to make it broad. For once kids, I put either. So this is accounting for a man that don't want kids and men that do want kids. I put the height minimum at 6 feet, and I put the minimum income at 100,000. The ethnicity I put is black, as you can see, and it's excluding married men and obese men. And this is how many men meet that criteria. 0.048%. Out of almost 165 million American men, only 79,000 men meet that criteria. So everybody who's saying that's their standard for dating, you have to realize there are only 79,000 men that fit that criteria that are available. And that also didn't account for if the men are straight or not. So I'm pretty sure if it was only for straight men, that probably would drop another 10, 15, 20,000. But let's make it broader. Let's say if you open to dating all ethnicities, but the man still has to be 6 feet, make 100,000, be between the age 25 to 50, not be married, and not be obese. That number, it has to be a lot higher, right? And it's only 1.24% of men that meet that standard. Out of almost 65 million men, only 2 million American men meet those standards. All right, so let's make it even more broader. Let's say your man, he doesn't have to be 6 feet, but he has to be at least 5'8", which is shorter than the average height for a man in America. But he still has to make at least 6 figures. And like I said, he's not married and he's not obese, but he's black. So this is if you only date black men. That number is 0.158%.
Wow.
Which is like an anomaly or a shooting star. But let's take it a step further and make it even more broader. Let's say he has to be at least 5'8", but he can be any ethnicity. That number is only 1.52%, which means that if there are about 420 men standing in the room, it will only be about 6 men that meet that criteria. So when y'all say these things and y'all make it a standard, y'all are essentially making it impossible to ever get in a relationship, because you making what's a rarity seem like it's an average thing that is available at scale, which is important because if I'm looking for a job, right, and I'm like, this job has to give me X amount of money, X amount of PTO days, and X amount of benefits, and I'm like, I'm not working any job. I don't care what it is. I refuse to work any job if it's not that job. But there's only 5 of these jobs available in my state, but there are 15 million people applying for that same job. How foolish would I be to not only expect to get that job, but also refuse to do anything else if I don't get the job? Everybody with common sense and logic, they would call me a foolish and idiotic person, and rightfully so. But that's the exact same thing that millions of women are doing today.
He cooked, y'all. He broke it down to a science and told y'all exactly how delusional y'all have been. And now I'm going to give y'all my take on this. Do I feel like a lot of women are just desperate and thirsty for a man now, and so they're throwing out all of their ridiculous high expectations and standards and so on and so forth? Do I feel that way? Do I feel that they really don't like short men, but hey, I need to just take whatever I can get at this point? Do I believe that? Goes back to what I said earlier. I think that women were just trying to fit in with what the it girls were saying, and so they just was repeating what they heard. But now that times are getting a little bit tougher, and maybe they are finding themselves to be attractive to certain types of guys who may not be over 6 feet tall. Now it's like, okay, now I can finally be honest about it and live out loud and say, screw all of that. I'm not trying to be the it girl. I'm not trying to fit in with y'all. Hey, I have needs. I have wants. I'm attracted to what I'm attracted to. Let me stop trying to pretend that I'm not, just so that I can be perceived to be the, once again, it girly. No, I'm going to go ahead and talk to the guy that's 5'9", that's 5'7", that's 5'5", that's 5'6", 5'10". He does not have to be 6 foot. And to be completely honest, you all, the man never did have to be 6 foot. It just was the cute thing to say. It was the trendy thing to say. And with us wanting to be a part of the hot girl in crowd, we just repeated it and we tried to live up to it. That way we could have bragging rights and say, hey, I was the one who was able to snag or obtain the ideal guy. Does that make sense, you all? I hope that makes sense. But that has been it the whole time, you all. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Put a salute in the chat if what I just broke down made sense. But that has been the thing. So I'm not even going to sit here and make it seem like, oh, women never like short guys and they still don't. They're just doing it solely because they're struggling, solely because they need help and, you know, they're desperate. Not quite. They've always liked men that were of a certain height. It just was not the popular or trendy, girly thing to say. I want to be perceived as the woman that was able to obtain the top of the line guy that every woman is striving for. I think now it has just really dawned on us that that's unrealistic. So why am I holding out for a guy that I more than likely will never run into? Okay. And if you do run into him, he's probably already married or maybe he is a playboy. Okay. Now I will give some pushback and say that just because you are tall does not mean that you are a playboy. It does not mean that you cheat. It doesn't. Okay. That is a character flaw, not a height flaw. It has nothing to do with that. Every day we make our own choices to partake in whatever we want to partake in. So we're not going to go that far. Hell, we know a lot of short guys who got all the baddies. So once again, we're not going to discriminate and make it seem like, oh, if you're this height, then you're a cheater. No, we're not going to do that. But yeah, you all, like that has been a thing. And I think that because life is lifing, it's just becoming a lot more reasonable to say it out loud. All right. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Okay. Are you skeptical about this great shift? Do you feel good about it? Is it benefiting you? Y'all let me know. All right. But shout out to all of my short kings and my tall kings and my medium kings. I salute all of you all. But I would love to hear you all's feedback and your thoughts about today's topic in the comment section. Let me know, have you been on the receiving end of getting all the baddies and you're under 6 feet? Okay, let me know. All right, but I'm gonna see y'all in the next dope discussion. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, and much love and peace to all of my crown heads.
Under 6 foot, I don't like you. I love you.